and save it. So, like when I close it, save it. There's no actual save, so it's its own change. Well, I meant for like the session. So I've got no way to roll it over. So.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's transition audio.
All right. So hopefully we have our audio issues figured out.
I can hear you guys talking.
Perfect. So we're going to redo our introduction. So, in case we just didn't have audio for the whole thing, we are taking a short 3-week break from Prismatic Dragonfly Tavern to kind of figure out what our next arc is and make sure that you have a really awesome story coming forward. So in the meantime, we are doing a short little run through of LoFi Bards to study and relax to. This was something I backed on Kickstarter, and it's by Ross Inglesham. And you can find it online if you just Google the title. But it's a really nice, cozy game set in a high school, university, college. We're going with a college this time. And we're going to play this game together and learn all the rules together. So, hope you enjoy it. But we will start by introducing our characters before we get into our setting and the game. So, Vale.
Hi. So my name's Vale. For anyone who hasn't watched the stream before, I go by she or they pronouns. My character is Varachka, and she is an undead fiend. So not only is she undead, she's the setting's more or less tiefling equivalent. And in her case, like 5 or 6 different tieflings got stitched together to make her, and she's kind of her own new unique person in this state and figuring everything out. The earliest memory she has of being herself are like being in this old castle out in the woods somewhere, and eventually her mother found her. This very nice paladin who came by and just realized she wasn't a threat and took her in and looks after her. It's been a few years. She's kind of been learning how to exist and some basic education, and now it's at the point where, okay, we think you're ready to kind of go out in the world and start trying to become an individual. So she's off to college and is just very happy to be here.
All right, fantastic. And then Sarah joining us remotely.
Yes, hi, I'm Sarah. Coming out from San Diego. And I'm playing Edgar. He is an orc. He is rough on the outside, soft and sweet on the inside. Just trying to figure out what it's like to navigate being in this world. He's been a little bit isolated. He's not really had to interact with a lot of other different species, so he's trying to figure out where he really fits in the world. And while he might not necessarily be the smartest bulb in some ways, he's got some other smarts that I hope come out to light during the game that we're playing.
Fantastic. So our setting for this evening is the prestigious Highwater College for the Arcane Arts in the town of Fjordsburg, Virginia. Hopefully not a real place. And this is a school that really prides itself on its applied arcane arts, making sure that you're not just learning spellcasting and all the theory behind it, but you're going to be able to do something with this. It is a school of about 200 or so students, very elite, very selective. And you really have people from all different species and backgrounds, whether it's, your awesome run-of-the-mill human to your stitched together tiefling. Someone is convinced that there is one professor who may be 4 awakened raccoons in a trench coat. We're not sure. But it is the beginning of the spring semester of your guys' freshman year. So you've had one semester to kind of get a feel for things, meet a few of your classmates, get involved in clubs, activities. And right now it is that first awesome week back. So it is a Wednesday evening, and you are both wrapping up class in your Principle of Management class, the most magical of classes. This class is taught by your professor, whose name I totally wrote down somewhere, Aaliyah Smith. She appears to be about, late middle-aged, has reddish curly hair, very pale, green eyes. Kind of, as a accounting specialist, is in a business suit all the time, and she would really seem like kind of the most dry person in the world if you didn't know that she was also a vampire. So she's wrapping up her lesson, letting you know that you will be having a test next week on the material. Apparently your professors this year have decided that weekly tests are the thing to do. So you already have a couple of these planned in your other classes. But, it's about 6:30 at night. You've got that nice, 5:15 to 6:30 class. And as you're filtering out, the main topic of conversation amongst your classmates is the upcoming Frostrite dance. This is like the one big school dance that everyone gets super into. Great way to kick off the semester before everyone has to start thinking about summer internships or graduation or whatever is going on. So, you know that this is typically planned by the little events club. There's about 5 students who are just super into this. But you've kind of been helping out here or there. So, give you some time to interact and talk.
All right. Given the subject matter being accounting, I imagine Verochka's mostly just been sitting there with kind of a glazed over expression. Like, her eyes might even be pointed in slightly different directions for a moment. It's like, look over at Edgar, like, did you understand any of that?
Oh, I think we lost sound on Sarah.
Uh-oh, we lost our sound.
Sorry, I'm back. No, it's just it's hard. It's a little hard to hear people in the studio. Like, you guys are very, very faint.
Okay. Yep, we can speak up more. So, Veroshka just asked you if you had understood anything in your accounting class. Like, did it sink in?
Edgar very much does not. Apparently, did not catch much of it. I'm so sorry.
It's just gonna start kind of looking around to see if like anybody else here has been able to follow this lesson at all.
There is one person. His name's Jack. He's a human. To be kind of a shyer person, but he's been taking diligent notes, nodding along like he totally gets this. So either he's bluffing and he's just trying to put on a good show for the slightly scary professor, or he's got this.
Okay. Well, I'm really not entirely sure what is or isn't appropriate in this context, so I'm just going to walk right over and go like, did you understand?
I think so. I mean, mainly just like a lot of math. So, and like I thought this was a very clear lecture style, but do you need notes?
It would probably be good. I don't think my notes are very useful.
Okay, yeah. So I can email them to you. And if you want, like, I have to go help set up for the dance in the theater. Do you want to like come with me and we could like talk through some of this?
I think I would like that, yes.
Excellent. Um, Edgar, are you with Barashka?
I love dances and I love setting up for dances. So if I could come, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, really more hands is always a benefit. So definitely. So, so the management building is really it's got the best view somehow of the entire school. It is out just a couple of like maybe a half mile or so from the lake, which right now is all iced over, snowy. It's kind of a winter wonderland type situation. But the school is very good about their snow management, so you are able to walk kind of back inwards towards the main buildings. You can see your three dorms off in the distance, and in the like creative arts building off to the side, there is a beautiful theater with movable seating, so you can do really whatever you need to for your shows. And right now, this is where things are being set up. So there are probably about 10 or 15 other students, really again of all different backgrounds. You do know some of them, such as the head of the events club, Greta Sweetwheat. She is a gnome ghost who has really been with the school for the last like 50 or so years. And no one's really sure how she became a ghost or a spirit here. But she always heads this club, and this is her favorite event. So Jack is going to be like, okay, so we got more stuff. We did a little shopping spree right before the semester to get our decorations. They're in the closet, kind of backstage. Could you go get them? And then like, I'm just going to finish up a couple of notes here and then I will hand them over to you.
Yes, we can do this.
All right.
And no, she's just going to go try to find this closet with the half directions she has.
All right. So let's see. You know what? Just to start checking our doing our skills checks, I'm going to have you make a nature check.
Nature? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 0 for me, so it's just straight 2 dice.
Yep.
That's a 7.
Okay. So there's a lot going on in the backstage of a theater.
I'm well aware.
Yes. I think at least one of us has experience here. So I already started doing accounting, and I never took an accounting class in my life. But you know, you have to go through some set pieces. You know, get around boxes and carts full of costumes and all that. But eventually, you are able to find a storage closet that has like bits of tinsel and whatnot falling out of it, and you're pretty sure this is the closet.
All right. So I'm just going to start looking through for the dance supplies that he mentioned were in here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking for, so I'm probably just going to start grabbing things if nothing immediately jumps out at me.
Well, as you open this door, you find that it swings open way too easily. And it's pretty much empty except for like a couple like plastic bags with bags that did contain decorations but no longer do. Stuff that you had seen hung up there. But yeah, this is otherwise empty. And just it doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I think I have to stop for a second and really think about it to realize, like, no, they don't want the plastic. I think the thing they want is not here. And then just go leave. It's like, there was nothing in there.
Okay. Edgar, did you go along, or what are you doing in this moment? Is Varashka is
Yeah, I
looking.
feel like I follow behind my buddy, the person that I'm comfortable with. Am I able to kind of investigate and explore to see if I can find anything in this closet?
Yeah. So as you're kind of also standing there being like, this is a very surprisingly empty closet, um, you're able to see that, there's some kind of muddy footprints here. And again, that door just doesn't seem entirely right. Like maybe some of the hinges are not off, but seem to be slightly pulled out of the wall.
Hmm, interesting. And can I see where the muddy footprints are going? Like, are they leading in a certain direction?
They are, I mean, they're kind of all around the room, and then they seem to be heading down further um, away from the main stage area.
Okay. All right. And there's nothing that's giving me, okay, this is extra, but like if I knock along the walls in the closet, am I noticing that there's like any hollow spaces or anything like that? Anything that might indicate like a false door or something?
Um, Make a lore check as you knock along walls.
Lore?
4.
Sorry. I didn't.
Oh,
Did you say lore?
yeah, so lore check.
Okay. And what type of dice would that be?
So you're gonna roll 2d6s, and
Two.
if you are proficient in lore, you add 1. If you are weak in lore, you subtract 1. Otherwise, it's just 2d6.
Okay. Um, 5 and 1, so 6 in total.
All right. As you're doing that, you're not really sure. If you're hearing empty spaces, it's kind of inconsistent since this is quite a maze of, well, it's a maze back here. But nothing strikes you as like, there's a secret passageway out of here.
Okay. I'm gonna turn around though and, tell the group what I see with the muddy footprints, and that seems a little suspicious, but I couldn't really determine if there's anything extra going on with this closet or if it's just been like raided, essentially.
Okay, so you guys have gone back out. You tell this to Jack,
Mhm.
who just goes pale. He's like, what? That was like a whole $100 of decorations. They're just gone?
There is a lot of plastic if you would like that.
Like the plastic signs with the letter cutouts?
Like the bags.
No, that's not very helpful.
That is what I thought, yes.
Okay. Those are really important. Oh, and so he goes over and he grabs, well, he goes and he gets, oh my God, notes, things. He grabs Greta, who's talking with a lizard folk named, his name's Severn. And he's just like, Greta, we have a huge problem. All of our decorations are gone. They might have been stolen. We don't know what's going on. And you just see like Greta blink out of existence for a second and come back in. And you could tell that she would probably, like, if she had coloration, she would be red right now. But she's not. She's a spirit. This is a disaster. Like, in the last 48 years, we have never had an issue with this dance. It has always happened perfectly. And and this will not happen again on my watch. Okay, you two found this out.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go see if we can renegotiate our event budget, because we might have to replace these. But if you could potentially, I don't know, find out who took these, why would someone want to ruin this super magical night? That would be really great. Maybe see about getting them back, and we're going to triage the situation.
Oh, yes, my mother says I should help people, so yes, we will help.
Awesome. You are the absolute best. All right. So, how are you guys going to try and track down these missing decorations?
You said there were footprints?
I think we start there. I think we start following the footprints.
All right. So you guys head back stage, and you start following the footprints. They manage to take you out into like out of the main area into kind of a janitorial hallway, and then sort of seem to end. But there's really only one way down this hallway.
And is there anything weird with these footprints, like really big, really small, shoes, hooves, etc.?
They appear to be humanoid, but not wearing shoes. And don't forget, you can always use magic if you want to try and do something with that as well. And really, it's your imagination is the limit on magic.
Right, right. Don't think I have enough to try anything yet myself. How about you?
I don't believe I do either.
All right, so I think we're gonna keep looking for now and just see what's at the end of the hallway and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you get to the end of the hallway, there's a little bit, you run into a T intersection. One way you can see through the little window in the door heads back into like the main entrance of the Creative Arts building. And the other just says exit. You can feel cold air coming through, and this seems to be leading outside.
Do you think they took the decorations outside?
Yeah, like that doesn't seem as likely as being indoors and keeping it in the well, actually no. To be fair, if they were trying to remove them from the premises, they would run outside.
That would be very cold with no shoes, though.
Very cold with no shoes. And didn't we hear earlier that it was snowing, so like wouldn't we be able to see any type of footprints
Take a look outside real fast.
Yeah, so as you look outside, you do notice a couple sets of footprints. Some are barefoot, some have hooves, others are boots, and very quickly it just starts running into that all the slush of many students walking by. And so you can be pretty sure they probably went this way, but then where do they go from there? Hard to say.
Right.
Okay. All right. And there's nothing else that we can like visually gain from looking around the area or the people that are coming and going. Does it still seem like it's busy right now?
It's calming down a little bit. It's, roughly dinner time. It's a little bit later. So people are starting to kind of meander back, either like to the library for late night studying or the dining hall or residence halls. So not a ton of people out at the moment.
And where is this path going past? Like, sorry, you mentioned the room that it was and like what kind of classroom it was.
Yeah. So out of this hallway, you hit the T, and to
Mhm.
your left, it went back into the Creative Arts building. It was like the main foyer that led into the theater, other classrooms, all that good stuff. And then if you went right, that led outside, um, which across the way is one of the dorms. Um, then you have like the dining hall, the Arcane Arts building, two more dorms that way, and the other side is like the library, and further down is the lake.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and like just kneel down and try to take a closer look at some of the barefoot footprints in the snow, and just see if any of those look like they're about the same size and shape before it gets all jumbled together in the slush further down.
Yeah. Um, Make a lore check.
That's a 5.
I mean, it's really hard to say as like the mud kind of gets smeared on the hallway, and then now you have a couple sets of footprints overlapping each other.
Mm-hmm.
So the main similarity you have is that someone was out here barefoot in the snow.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of mud. I do not think they came in through the other way. I think it is this way, but I do not know which of these is them.
Does it make sense to go to one of the buildings that's overlooking and talk to some of the people there to see if they saw anything, like a handoff of some sort?
Oh, maybe they did, yes. Maybe we should talk to them.
Uh, okay. I think I'd like to make my way. You said there's a dorm, the cafeteria. Maybe the cafeteria would be the best place to start. What do you think?
Um, Maybe there are usually lots of people there.
Hmm.
Breathing people need to eat a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that Edgar would probably head off next then to the cafeteria area to see if there's anybody that they could talk to see if they were witnesses to any type of maybe kind of odd exchange in the corridor between.
Okay. So you walk over there. Very quickly you hit like the stand to, swipe your meal pass or pay or whatever. And someone you've kind of seen around a little bit, but you don't really know her. Like you recognize her face, but don't know her name. Um, is there just looking really bored as she takes everyone's cards and swipes them. Um, there's a bunch of students around, a couple of professors, the staff who runs this. Who do you want to talk to?
Oh, I think I'd like to talk to the staff that runs it and ask if there is a way. Ask them first of all if they heard any type of, you know, hullabaloo or anything like that earlier. But also if there's a way for us to get any logs of who maybe had logged in and out during the time period that this is happening.
So who was around the last little bit, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so you ask the student worker um, who you should talk to, and she points you down the hall to the main manager, Barbara. Um, and she says she's in charge of the place, so she'll know better than me. I just started my shift like half an hour ago. It's gonna be long, um, but good luck. So
Be long. Oh, great. Do you remember any type of commotion or, people taking interest in anything that was going on outside of the windows? Any type of incident that you can think of?
I mean, not really. You know, like the Centaur track team, they went running through and like that was disruptive. Um, nearly trampled a couple of students, but they're really excited for a track meet coming up, if that's your deal. Otherwise, no, I haven't seen anything else suspicious in the last half hour.
All right. Well, thank you for your help.
Yeah, but like I
Um,
said, go talk to Barbara. She's just down the hall in her office. You can knock. I'm sure she would welcome the interruption.
All right. And Varash is just going to walk straight there.
Okay. Um, so the door is closed, but you can tell the lights are on.
Just knock.
Okay. Um, so you knock. A older dwarf woman opens the door. Are you here to file a complaint, or do you have a helpful suggestion, or is
Uh,
this something else?
I think this is something else.
Interesting. Come on in.
Uh, Thank you.
What can I help you with and improve your dining experience here at the Academy?
Um, I am Varachka. Um, we are helping with the dance, and it looks like some things went missing, and we think the person who took them might have walked past, and we just wanted to know if there was anyone we could speak with that might have seen something out the window.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Um, do you have a time frame on when this might have occurred?
It must have just been earlier, maybe last night. There was some mud and a broken door, and nobody heard the door break, so it had to have been before they got in there today.
Well, that's completely unacceptable. And we already have the catering order set in, so you know, you can't cancel this. Um, like we've pulled out the stops for this. So,
I do not think anyone wishes to cancel. We just want to find out what happened to the things.
no, absolutely, absolutely. Um, well, yes, I did not notice, but I bet maybe you could check out some security cam footage. Talk to uh, our main security monitor. Um, they could probably help you. They're always around, so
Where can we find them?
follow me. They're well, you need keys to get in there, so yeah, they'll love this. So she takes you down the hall a little ways and has to beep into like a secure employees only door. And all of a sudden, like the bright, happy colors of student life disappear into shades of beige and off gray. Um, and you then get to a door that again she unlocks, and inside there's like 8 different TV monitors. And a rather translucent, vaguely humanoid creature, kind of like bobbling a little bit, like they're struggling to keep form. And you know that this is a ooze, a sentient ooze. Um, and Barbara, knocks to get their attention, and you just see the eyes like go from the front into the back of their head as like their face just pushes backwards. Um, she's like, these students have reported a crime on campus, a potential theft, and we need to know if anything strange happened in the last, what, 12 hours, 24 hours?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah. Um, their eyes like push back in, and they're just like, Huh. What do you think happened?
Eh, Someone with no shoes broke open the supply closet for the dance and took the decorations.
Huh. Okay. Well, where were the
And
decorations?
it might have happened, well, depending, we saw a lot of hoof prints, so it might have happened after the centaurs came running through?
Well, maybe
Or do you think
before.
it was
I think it
beforehand?
was before.
Oh, yeah, that was quite an eventful thing. Um, I just don't know why they felt like moving so fast. Like, the world is so nice. You should just take it slow. But, okay, where were the decorations held? What building should we be looking for?
I'll just pass along the information with the dance and the student, the art center and all that. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so they start rewinding uh, stuff on camera 3. Um, and letting it go forward for a little bit and then going back. And about 4 a.m. in that morning, you do see some vaguely humanoid creatures in cloaks running out with a couple of grocery bags of decorations. One of them, like, drops one of those signs that you were being asked about with the cutout letters, and they have to like scoop and pick it up, and you can see thinned hands. Um, he's like, huh. They went towards the forest, towards the mountains. What strange circumstances.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Why would they do that? What is over there?
Um, well, you would know. That way is where you have some of the sports fields. You begin to get some like really nice hiking trails up into the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And that is where the lake is. And if you go a little bit further down is like the greenhouses and um, stables for some of the magical creatures that are kept here on campus.
Hmm.
Okay.
This is much harder to get back than we thought it was going to be.
You thought it was much harder to what?
So this is much harder to get back than we thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So as the ooze just like oblivious to all this just keeps going backwards, you do see the same figures, head in about a half hour earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be quite strong because that door was rather heavy,
Mm-hmm.
as it was it's a fire door and all that, so you had to put some oomph into it. But they just like throw it open like
Mm-hmm.
it's like it was easy. And so you can see that they ran from that direction, they ran back. And there's about 4 of them.
All right, and they were carrying stuff when they left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we know which way they came from now. Is there anywhere else over there we can see anything?
Um, let's see. I think this one's more towards the residence hall, so let me do that. And he switches to the 8th TV screen and goes all the way back. The fastest thing that he has done this entire time,
Mm-hmm.
because you know your time frame now. And you can see them coming up from that direction as well. And it looks like they probably approached, just given potential angles, more from like the soccer field, lake area versus the stable area.
It's very strange. Who would be out there in winter? They play soccer when it is warm, yes?
Sports were never my strong suit. Though
No.
synchronized ooze swimming is very nice.
It is very cold for that right now, too.
Mm.
I would be interested to see that when it is warmer.
I would recommend.
So, how far away are they from us? Like, we can see you, right? Because they're like outside, but like, are they like far away from us?
I mean, this is a recording, so.
Yeah, it's a recording from like.
Oh, sorry, it's a recording. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So it happened early in the morning. And they are not approaching from town, they're approaching from like the mountains. Hooded figures. You saw a hand that had like webbing on it. And that's about what you have. Seemed impervious to the cold. You didn't see them doing the like hop.
They are very comfortable in the ice.
Okay. So where should we go from here?
Maybe we go look by the lake?
Yeah.
Are you going to be warm enough?
Am I going to be warming?
Will you be warm enough?
Oh, will I be warm enough? I don't know. I think as an orc, I have some good stamina. I feel like I should be okay. I'm not quite sure though. Jillian, will I be warm enough?
Yes.
Do I need to go bundle?
I mean, you had to walk outside to get to class, so you're decently bundled up. Not just recklessly exposing yourself to the elements.
Okay.
We're gonna go with, yeah, you're not the kid who's like, oh, I still don't want to wear a jacket when it's cold outside.
I was gonna say I went to college. I remember plenty of people who did not respect the elements.
Right. We're gonna go with you respect the elements. So yeah, you have boots on, a jacket, mittens. You're okay. Maybe don't camp overnight like this.
All right. It says continue on our investigation then, I guess.
Okay.
All right. So you guys leave this office. You're able to, on your own, make it back down the hall into the main entrance. Things are even busier now. And you head out into, thankfully, not a snowstorm.
Not this time.
Not this time. No. And you start heading down towards the lake. And it's just quiet, peaceful. The moon has started to come up, so you get the nice moonlight off of the drifts of snow reflecting off the ice on the lake. And it's just a very serene and peaceful evening. Um, and I think uh, Barashka, you know, this is a rather idyllic place. It's your first winter in school. Does this stir up anything for you?
I mean, I do like the cold in general. I think maybe it's kind of similar to when my mother and I left the castle when she came and decided, okay, no, you're coming with me.
So would that bring like joy for you, or maybe more of a melancholy?
Hmm. I think probably leaning towards joy this time. That's a pretty happy memory.
All right. So you, as you think about that, you are just filled with nice warm fuzzies, at least in some parts of your stitched together person. Uh, and what would a new strange comfort be related to this experience?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me think about that for a minute.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, all right. So you guys make your way down to the lake, and at this point, you can kind of see a couple of different trails that had been walked have been since snowed over. So which ones were barefoot, which ones were properly shoed feet. It's a little hard to say. Um, but there has definitely been movement down that way. Is there anything in particular you're looking for as you are down here?
Um, well, obviously some of the stuff over here is not going to get a lot of use in the winter, so probably just kind of seeing like where there are trails. Like, people probably aren't going out to the soccer field like commented on with the security ooze.
Yes. Um, so there are, so there's like one trail that just kind of goes straight down. You can see like some like ice skate marks
Hmm.
on the surface of the lake. There's one that seems like people were walking this way around it, just enjoying the weather. For people who really enjoy that, so I'm going the other way, kind of more towards the sports fields, but also along the longer edge of
Hmm.
the lake.
Okay. And like the one along the edge of the lake, that's mostly just like a walking trail around the lake, doesn't actually go anywhere else that we know of.
Yeah, and I mean they both mainly seem to be just people walking.
Okay.
You see like a little fort that someone built to have a snowball fight earlier off to in the distance one way.
Do any of the footprints that Rose seen look like any of the ones that we've come across
The barefoot
previously in our
ones.
investigation?
It's hard to say just looking at them because there was snow in between 4 a.m. and where you are now. So they've kind of filled in a little bit. So that part's a little bit hard just like looking at these three paths.
Hmm.
Okay. But no, like, because I feel like the barefoot ones were pretty unique.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're not the same, do we see any barefoot footsteps out here?
Um, and make another lore check.
10.
All right. So as you're looking a little bit more and um, you remember, back to your very first class on like introduction to wilderness survival. You like very gently move the snow away in one of the paths, and you do see more the outline of a foot than a shoe, and you know it's the like long far path.
Maybe this one? I'll point.
I think we should keep going in that direction then.
Yes, let us go.
All right, so as you start walking that way, the trail does get really close to the edge of the lake, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary when all of a sudden, Edgar, you have a snowball just hit you in the back.
I'm going to turn around because Edgar does not appreciate violence. He's a gentle soul, despite everything. To the contrary. And be like, who did that? And then while immediately scooping up another snowball, which is going to be at least 3 times in mass, is the one that hit him.
All right. You see a couple of humans, 2 boys and a girl, and you can see that like one of the boys has just like finished throwing, his arms raised, and the other 2 are holding snowballs. And as you are putting together this massive snowball of like really good wet sticky snow, they seem to have regretted their actions. Like, hey, friendly competition, lots of fun, right?
Oh, competition and fun. Yes, we understand this. And Veronica this way, it's like, we are playing now too, and starts trying to animate like snow skeletons to start fighting for her. Just
okay. I love that. Okay, do an alteration check.
12.
Fantastic. Yes. 2 skeletons made of snow pop up, and they just start like scooping up snow with their bony, snowy hands and throwing them. They're not especially strong, but you have them go forward a little bit, and they start doing it. And you see the girl kind of throw a snowball at one of the skeletons, and it just like lands on its skull. But it's unfazed. It's just like more of itself now attached. It's a little lumpy.
I'm gonna hold up my gigantic snowball that I've been building to make sure that it's like more than the size of the children's heads. I'd be like, I'll show you how to do this if you guys tell me if you've seen anybody come across this way. And we're looking for a very specific person who has, and I'm going to point to like little feet prints and be like, anybody that looked like they might be able to fill those footprints. And if not, then I'm going to smack you in the face with this snowball.
No, we haven't seen anyone. I mean, not going that way. I mean, there was like two dryads that like went completely the other way. And then they like kind of disappeared into the snow. So who knows what they were doing? We probably don't want to know. But is that what you're looking for?
The skeletons have not stopped pelting the fort, for the record.
The one who has hit Edgar is the one panicking, trying to save himself from being hit in the head with this giant, like, it's like the middle of a snowman-sized snowball. The other 2 are throwing at the skeletons, who are just, unfazed.
Helpful. Did you see anybody, like, maybe going off with some loot, a bag of something, decorations perhaps.
No, I haven't seen anything like that in the last 20 minutes.
You say you've only been here for 20 minutes?
Yeah, about.
And you built a snow fort in 20 minutes.
Oh no, that one was so that was actually down a little bit more opposite direction. They're like, no, we didn't build that one. That was there. Like this morning. I don't know.
Right. I accept your story. And I will give you this giant snowball, but use it wisely. And not on us.
Thank you. He just takes it and he turns around and he's like, okay, guys, let's go build a snowman.
You have a good foundation. And if you want to build an orc snowman, that would be nice.
Absolutely, we will definitely do that, yeah. Meanwhile, what's going on with your skeletons?
I mean, I think now that everyone has stopped playing, Barats is like, okay, no, you can stop. The game is over.
They just stop and do you like release them?
Probably. They just collapse back into piles of snow.
Yeah. Like some of the snow has really held together, so you see like kind of a femur here and a little bit of a skull. But yeah, otherwise it's a pile of snow.
As long as it's not twitching.
It is not twitching.
All right. So, regrouping the facts, we have seen little footprints that somewhat resemble what we've seen previously, but we were just told that they connected with people that went the other direction. These dryads. Is that what?
Yes, there were two dryads who kind of veered off the path. And you're not seeing footprints in that direction, but you do know that dryads can just kind of like float on top of the snow and they can just blend into the snow in winter. So that isn't unusual.
Maybe, but I don't know. If it was the dryads, why would they have left any footprints at all for us to find?
Okay. Tell me if I'm crazy. It seems like somebody did the initial deed and then passed it off.
It might be.
But then the problem arises when I miss being a blood hunter, where I can like track anything. How do we go about even trying to find a dryad?
Maybe we should see what's at the end of the path that they would have come from, or maybe if it is not the same thing, wherever the person who left the footprints would be, since the dryads don't always leave footprints, so it would be a little strange for them to have tracked mud everywhere in the theater.
Their bare feet and then walk in snow in that. Okay. Wait, and from the video, the people that were playing outside didn't seem to care about the cold either.
I mean, they, in the way that humans generally are bothered or not bothered by the cold, like they were bundled up. They had proper snow boots on. Yeah.
I was just wondering, I was like, is this little thief a part of that crew that was not affected by the cold as much as others are?
Not, they just seem to be enthusiastic college students having a snowball fight.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So it seems like our options.
So what would you like to do next?
So it seems like our options are keep going down the path or try to figure out where the dryads left, assuming they're connected. Though the dryads were seen much more recently than the stuff we're looking for.
I mean, that's the path that I would probably take. but also it seems trippy. So
I'm kind of leaning towards seeing what's at the end of this trail first,
okay, I'm down.
because then we can at least rule it out without getting lost in the woods. Chasing
That's true. The
dryads.
other trail is fresh enough that it's not going to be like make it or break it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's do this.
All right. So you continue down the path, and it takes you probably another 15, 20 minutes to get down to where there is one part of the path that does keep going, but you see another kind of veer more into directly into the lake. This part of the shore has become a little bit like this is not where the beach is in warmer weather. There are large rocks, shrubs, all that. But as you kind of look down that much shorter path, you can see that some of the ice has been like pushed up, broken through, dug out, and there is some muddy footprints heading up that trail. And then you get closer and you can see the beginning of some footprints headed into the water.
Are they barefoot again?
They are barefoot.
Well, I do not need to breathe, but you do, so maybe we should look up the trail first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Are you checking the footprints of the trail?
Yeah, just taking a look that way first, since only one of us can go underwater in the first place.
Yeah. As you start checking the footprints along the rest of the trail, those all appear to be either hooved or shoed.
Mm-hmm.
Or like much larger.
What?
Hooved or
Barefoot?
shoed. No barefoot that way.
Yeah, either the people there had hooves or they were wearing shoes.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Didn't we see? Yeah, but there's like a bunch of people running through that hallway outside of that building or entryway.
Hmm.
All right. Do you want to keep exploring? What are we thinking?
We could take a look, like, so down by the water line going under the ice, those are the barefoot tracks.
Mm-hmm.
We could try the lake. Um, I I could probably try to make you something that can breathe under the water.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Asking this because I'm very much like a newbie to this, but my little magic snack is beast speech and adrenaline rush. Would either of those help me in this situation?
Adrenaline rush would not. I don't think. Alan, remind me what adrenaline rush does.
I would need to look.
Like,
I only think it lasts for a minute.
oh, that's where you like can like overcome.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So.
And then bee speech is this. I can speak to animals for a little bit.
Yeah, if you find an animal around, you could try and talk to it.
So if they wanted to investigate and I couldn't go into that area, I could try to find like an animal.
Yes.
Well, I guess I would say don't worry about me. I'll figure it out.
Well, I have been learning lots of transmutations.
Oh.
Maybe if you could talk to anything down there, I could probably turn you into something that can swim.
Okay. I'm not opposed.
No, we're going sword and stone here. Varachka's been trying to turn you into a fish. I was thinking fish and thought of my chart girl.
I mean, you could turn her into Sonny.
No, Sonny can stay in her universe. She has plenty of problems to deal with over there.
Okay, yeah. That'd be an alteration check.
Yes. And see, if I turn you into a fish and then you find fish down there, you can talk to them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
10.
We'll be all fine.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Literally be speech. You can speak to animals, they can understand you, and you can understand them. That is all it says. That is one sentence.
And I'm a
I don't know
telepath, so
why.
you don't need to have
I picked
vocal
the
cords
most
to talk to
barbaric
me.
character I could possibly pick for this campaign. I always play my other D&D game. I'm literally like a lycanthrope, blood hunter, changeling that is like work in the underground. But yeah. Anyways, I thought it would be fun to switch it up, so this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. And now you're a fish.
So okay. Now I'm a gigantic male orc who can speak to animals and have adrenaline rushes.
Well, who's being turned into a fish to swim in the lake?
Yes.
Put me in that. I will be the the biggest fish in that lake, though.
So you were going for like maybe a trout or, something of a lake fish.
Jillian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jillian. My last name is Bass.
Right?
Can I please be a bass?
You were going for a trout. She's now a bass. Or he's now a bass. A bass.
Oh, you are much larger than I thought you were going to be.
Yep. And you kind of land like just on the edge of the lake. You didn't fully get into the water, so you kind of have to like flop and wriggle your way in, but eventually you are able to like get under into the water and once again breathe.
Mm-hmm. And then meanwhile, just telepathy, like,
for Edgar the bass. Yeah.
like, oh, I know it is hard to speak right now, but you can just think and I will hear you.
I'm gonna be like, help! Somebody help! As I flop along, trying to get into the water.
Try to push you further into the water.
Easy enough. You can push Edgar the bass in.
Just blank. Blank.
Yeah. So you are down in the freezing cold water, which right now actually feels decently nice. It's a breath of fresh air with your gills. And you're just like swimming along pretty happy. It's a new sensation. Never been a fish before.
I'm liking it.
And then I just walk into the water because I sink to the bottom of bodies of water and don't need to breathe.
Yeah. So
Edgar is side-eyeing you right now.
yeah, Edgar, you just kind of swim around as you watch this fiend just kind of keep staying at the bottom, walking along the shore or the lake floor.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to crouch for a little bit or like get down on your stomach and pull yourself along since it's initially quite shallow, but eventually you are able to stand up and it is dark.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to see in the dark?
Not super well, but I'll just make some light.
Okay. I think easy enough. You are able to just get like a little ball of light to hang out in front of you, and it gives you about 20 feet worth of dim illumination.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar, as a fish, you see just fine right now.
I'm a little orc, right? So I hope I'd be able to see. Okay, so is there anything I'm picking up right now in my fish self?
You're not necessarily sensing anything, seeing anything, except that you do see like another fish, the trout that you were supposed to be, kind of off a little ways. So would you like to go
Can I
speak?
talk to the trout?
You can, using beast speech, you absolutely can talk to the trout.
Hello, my fellow
How do you do,
croissant.
fellow fish?
Have you seen anything come this way lately?
Um, make a performance check. I'm gonna say you have situational advantage, so you can add 1. So
Performance check with advantage.
yeah,
It turns out, how do you do, fellow fish, is in fact the correct greeting for the society.
yeah. So I think you had a -1, so you're adding 1, so it's a straight roll, if I remember this correctly.
Okay, why is it being so difficult? Is it 2d6s again, or?
Yes.
Yeah, 2d6 and then add whatever your performance is. And +1 for
Oh, I
advantage.
don't have
And then
any
+1 for
performance.
advantage.
Yeah. So add 1 to your roll.
I just roll. All right, 7 in total.
Okay. The trout just kind of like looks at you, and you guys start swimming in circles. Because he can't stop moving. Well, that was a strangely formal greeting. But I mean, there's been a bunch of other fish that have come this way. They're that weird, like human fish that pops in occasionally. But what are you looking for?
I would say probably the strange human-like fish is what I'm more. We're tracking some bare footprints of humanoid-esque creatures. Have you seen anything like that that would kind of lead you to believe that something of that nature has entered your beautiful home, pond, lair, area of residence?
Is this not your area of residence as well?
From a nice
I was
lake
just recently
upstream.
dropped here. It was very rude. I was pushed in, so I'm still getting my bearings.
Ah, well, welcome to the pond. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a like a human fish that pops in every like couple of days or whatever, up from wherever the humans come in. Thankfully, it's nice and quiet right now. They don't pop in. Um, and then I mean, there's always the the floor dwellers. Um, they've been pretty active lately, but yeah, it's
Can you? Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna turn to my co-conspirators and be like, "There's some floor dwellers. Try and find out more information." And then I'm gonna turn back to the fish and ask if I could get more information on these floor dwellers and their activity late.
they're well, you know, they're the like the humans at the bottom of the lake. Um, humans, but not humans. Hard to say. And they have like their own little structures, like they've built themselves. I don't know. I've heard that out in larger bodies of water, there are like these things called corals, and you can like live in them. I don't know. But it's like they put dirt together and they live inside the dirt and they make things out of the grass instead of just like swimming through the grass looking for fun things to eat. But they're strange. Also, they might eat you, so don't get too close.
Ooh, that sounds problematic. Just for kicks and giggles, could you point us in the direction of where they are?
Head north a bit and then swim down. And eventually they will find you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, my fishy friend, for this information. Is there anything that you need before I go?
No. I think I'm okay, strange bass. And your
Please leave.
and your weird human. And it just swims away. I'm very confused. As confused as a fish can be.
Which is surprisingly more confused than you might think.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I'm gonna swim back to everybody and tell them what I heard so that we can all figure out what to do.
Oh, so there is more people down here. What else would that be? If not the fish students? I'm, like,
There are
genuinely
people.
trying to recall, like, is there anything under the lake that they told us about during orientation or anything?
Third people.
You have not been told about anything particularly, like, you haven't been warned about the lake outside of, general safety around water. Um,
Giving me Harry Potter, whatever that Kraken creature was, vibes.
oh, the giant squid. Yeah, you were not informed about a giant squid, or anything else like that. You do know that, like, mermaids and sirens are things, but those are more like out in the ocean. Um, so this is very peculiar. Yeah, peculiar. I mean, you do have a professor who is a fish person. And there are a couple of students who are also fish people. But yeah, this is different. A society of lake bottom dwelling humans.
But the original crime was stealing the decorations, right? For like the kind of prom mask. That's personal. That's like I want to take away joy. So this has to be either an infringed society or a person that has been very much on the receiving end of like bullying or something like that at the school.
Or maybe they are rivals.
It could be the what?
They could be rivals. My mother had many movies about this sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Playing pranks. Well,
Okay.
maybe we should at least see what is down here, and then we can say for sure if it is involved or not. Here, I have an idea. And literally, just gonna reach behind myself and like tap myself on the back of the head, and one of my eyeballs pops out.
Okay. That's a choice.
This is a thing I can do because I'm undead.
Yep.
It's like, here, take this with you, and I can see what you see, and you can swim down, and they don't have to see me.
Are we giving this to me? Are we like strapping this to me as a bass fish?
It's popping it in your mouth.
Yeah, do you want to accept this eyeball into your mouth?
I will accept the eyeball into my mouth. Sorry. Requesting yeah, I accept the eyeball. And I am down to swim due north to find these mud dweller people, homeless humans that don't contribute to the whatever the reeds of this pond.
Okay. Sounds like you now have a vendetta against these people.
And I'm just gonna follow, like, close enough that I can still see out of that eye, but not so close that I'm the first thing anybody spots.
So you follow about roughly 10 feet behind, and you just keep swimming. You just keep swimming. And it's dark. You see a couple more like fish go by. They pay you no heed. They seem a little bit more confused about the person walking along the bottom of the lake. But soon you run into a spot where the lake drops. And it's quite a ways down. You don't, I mean, it's dark. Your source of light does not tell you that there's anything, like you're not sure how far that drop is going to be.
Okay.
And Edgar keeps swimming, and you start losing connection with your eye unless you want to plunge off the edge of this lake.
Hmm.
Plunge off the edge. Do I lose all connection with my eye in my mouth?
I mean, it has to be within like 50 meters of my body, or I can't see out of it.
Okay.
And I sink. I can't.
Do you want me to go or?
Uh, hmm. No, take a look, and when you come back, I will know you are on your way because I will see out of that eye again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I mean, they said they might eat me, but they didn't say what they might eat. They didn't say what kind of animal. So, like, hopefully, as a bass, I would be fine. Try and read your face, Jillian.
I'm not here.
If you want to try.
Okay. I'm gonna do a little reconnaissance. Apparently, when I'm in fifth form, I am French. I'm gonna dive in, and I'm gonna look around and see what I can find.
Okay. So you start swimming down further into the dark, holding on to this eye, which you are able to maintain a connection with for a little while. And then right as it's about to go dark and you're just like, no, I mean, it's already dark.
Mm-hmm.
You can send the light with her or with him for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You do see a rather familiar face emerge into the distance of the light, and this is your professor, Dr. Blimful.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of stops and looks at the bass carrying an eye.
Uh-huh.
And of course, Edgar, you know who this person is. But then keeps swimming up and then sees you on the bottom of the lake. And just thinks, what in the world is going on here?
Hello, Professor.
What are you doing?
We are trying to see if there are thieves down here.
Pete, that was your eye.
Yes.
Are you
There's obviously like an empty eye socket.
Are you connected to this fish? Is the fish part of the we?
Edgar's waving.
No, that is Edgar. Edgar needs to breathe, so I turned him into a fish while we are looking down here.
Okay, both of you need to get out of this lake. It's not safe.
What is wrong?
I would prefer to tell you when you are not, when we are not down here.
Will you come with us then?
Yes, absolutely. I was actually on my way back. It's about to become a very chilly walk back, and I prefer not to be a frozen fish.
And then, like, telepathically back to Edgar, we can go back up now.
Edgar is going to roll his eyes, but also swim.
Very sassy fish.
And fake chomp down on the eye just to give like a little bit of paranoia, but eventually spit the eye out towards you as we ascend.
Just like put it back in and then kind of do the blink and like flick head around, like almost like a contact lens is in the corner, but it's just the eye needs to recenter itself.
So Dr. Blimful slows his swimming to give you time to walk, ever so slowly back up here, slipping in the mud a little bit. But he actually leads you out to a different, like a different cutout that actually has more room for you to be able to stand up much sooner. he gets out, and there's a towel there that he dries off a bit with, and then hands it over to you. It's now dry and warm as he does that, having performed a little bit of magic. And you see Edgar the Bass just like bobbing up, waiting for you to turn him back.
Yeah, I just released the spell as soon as I see Edgar's like, okay, now you can stand up now.
Poor Edgar's now like crawling their way up the beach.
Yes, this is horrifically cold. It's just like 1,000 icy knives stabbing into your body. You suddenly can't breathe because of how cold it is as you then pull yourself up onto the ice and later onto the shore. The wet, snowy shore.
Being a massive orc does not mean I should be treated this way, that is.
This is the problem with having an undead girl for your best friend here. She just does not think about these things.
She's like, body heat, what?
Yes, if once you're done with the towel,
Hand it over.
yeah, well, the Blimful will again dry it and warm it up, and make it just a little bit bigger, more orc sized, as it goes over to Edgar, and it's just nice and toasty.
Appreciated by Edgar. One nice thing out of today.
So, you were looking for something, some thieves under the lake?
Somebody stole from the Frostwrite Dents. They took the decorations, but they broke the door and they left muddy footprints all over. And we tried to follow the tracks and they seemed to go into the lake, so we were looking under the water.
Most peculiar. I'll have to take note of that. Well, yes, there is a noises outside of the studio. Someone doing a break check. Yes, there is a society of freshwater sirens who are living below the lake that we have become slightly concerned about, but they shouldn't be involved in such petty matters, I would imagine. But, you know, it's a very volatile situation potentially, and it would be best if you didn't wander down there again.
I see.
Yes.
A volatile situation?
What?
You said it was a volatile situation?
Yes, there seems to be some political movements within the society down there. Some of them thinking that they should, well, they don't appreciate the students being around, and you know the general pollution of the lake through various summer activities. The rowing is apparently very disruptive. So there is some aggression towards the shore dwellers, essentially. So we've been trying to keep an eye on that to see how this situation is going and be able to come up with a plan should hostilities break out, I suppose.
Why would there be hostilities?
Every group can be very there's fanatics in every group, shall we say. So
is there like internal violence and then externally they have violence towards, what is it, land dwellers?
Well, more tensions. No violence has broken out at this point, but that is my other job in joining here is to keep an eye on the situation. I have a contact, so we're in communication. But yes. So nothing to worry about. You can sleep easy at night, but just please don't swim down to the bottom of the lake.
Oh,
Sounds completely like there's nothing to worry about.
and I will not walk down there either.
Yes, that would be rather ideal. Uh, what is that? And he points over with a very thin, like, hand um, towards some bushes. And you don't see anything, but he's like bobbing back and forth as if seeing something glint in the light.
Mm-hmm. What is what?
There's something over in those shrubs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's very shiny, which could be a trap.
I will go look.
Okay. Um, so you walk over. The ice is nice and sturdy. A little slippery, since you are not, in ice skates.
Mm-hmm.
But behold, within these shrubs and the rocks, you do find some very soaked bags of what would have been various decorations for the dance. But they are waterlogged. Paper has molded together into like a soggy ball. But you have found them.
These are the things that were stolen.
Well, that's a perfectly good waste of material and really a terrible place to have this. Like, most of that will not degrade in the water. Cruel pranksters.
Hmm. But who would have done it? And
You're.
trying to look at the magic descriptions and figure out like if there's anything that now that we have the objects, which of these would be like trying to read who touched them last?
Yeah.
So there's change matter, and probably focus because it's controlled and precise.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. Roll for focus.
7.
You're able to get a glimpse of some rather green-skinned humanoids with gold eyes. No one that you recognize. But just for the briefest of seconds, you're able to like get a face before things are dropped into the snow.
And did we get that so in a way that like Edgar could see it too, or was it just me?
It was just you.
Hmm. I think I saw somebody. They were also green.
Another green person, you said?
Yes.
Oh. Um, did they take after myself?
How similar to Edgar did they look?
Not very. Looked almost like a green elf with bright glowing gold eyes.
So it was the Dryads, and then they dropped it here and went under the water, maybe? Or over the ice. I don't know.
Interesting.
You would actually know that dryads change appearance according to the season, so right now they would be blue.
Okay.
So it's probably not dryads.
Okay. So...
Dryads are blue right now?
Yep, they change color and they'll be green in the spring.
Okay. So green kind of looked like an elf?
But and they weren't little? They were like normal sized?
Yeah, they were.
Yes, they dropped the bag. They did not just set it down.
Maybe not. Okay. So, to summarize, we have a group of angry people in a pond that are not liking the surface dwellers and have stolen things, but at the same time, there seems to be a connection with the dryads, and there's like a deeper purpose going on. Also, I don't know if I trust this professor that's been talking to us as like far as I can throw him. Actually, I shouldn't say that because I couldn't probably throw him far because I'm in work. So
I'm going.
I'm just saying there is a lot of suspicion going on in my mind.
But why would the professor be lying to us? Oh, Professor,
Yes.
what color are the sirens?
Oh, they range in color very, from kind of like a, brown to green. They're in those various shades.
And do they kind of look like elves?
Yes. Yes, they do.
And what color are their eyes?
Generally, they're gold.
It was one of the sirens that did this.
Very, very peculiar.
See, we were right to go in the lake.
Well, you have your decorations. So I don't know what this is about. Maybe tricksters, maybe some especially sneaky doppelgangers. But yes, please do not go back down there.
If doppelgangers?
Yes, many of your classmates are doppelgangers.
There are probably a few, yes.
Well, yes, Emmeline from from our class last semester. She was a doppelganger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is my doppelganger?
A doppelganger is someone. It's like a shapeshifter.
Right. Okay. Why would they want to be me?
They. I don't think.
They were just green like you.
Yeah.
They were just what?
They were just green like you. Let us take this back so they know what's happened to it, but it is concerning that these sirens would do this.
I am very much hoping it was not the sirens, but I will have to report this to President Flintback. So, yes, I would say please keep this a little under wraps. Don't need more curious students daring each other to, I don't know, swim down and catch a glimpse of things, as people are wont to do. But it is only getting colder out here, and I would hate for, well, you to catch cold and you to freeze, literally.
It would be unpleasant until I thawed out, yes.
Yes, and I do believe that would interrupt your classes for tomorrow, so don't want to miss class for being an icicle.
That is a bad reason to miss class, yes.
So he will escort you guys back up until you hit the campus buildings, and he's going to make his way to the president's office. Are you guys heading back into the theater?
Yeah, I had to at least give them like, well, we found out what happened to them.
So Greta's just like bobbing back and forth, full of nervous spirit energy. She's like, I can't believe anyone would do this. I mean, those are completely destroyed, but that's okay. We'll just repurchase more. We have time. We'll put those under better lock and key. I mean, I probably don't need to go to class for a 50th time. So I'll keep an eye on them to figure out what happened, who would want to do this. So that's fine. We'll just purchase more this week. We'll be back on schedule. It will be okay. So much appreciated. Sorry you guys are so drippy. I don't know what happened here.
We went in the lake.
It seems like a foolish thing to do. But if you're trying to be spirits, I mean, it is a nice living. But yes. Well, thank you. I guess everyone can, be done for the evening. Nothing more to do here. Very well. So everyone starts like, getting their bags together, coats on as they kind of shuffle out. So where do you guys want to be headed for the rest of your evening?
Is Jack still here? Because he was supposed to give me his notes.
Jack is still there.
Yeah, Jack. Oh, throwback.
So he now has like pen ink like smeared on his face, and his hair is like shoved up in one way, like he's really been concentrating. He's like, so since we had nothing to do and you were off doing stuff, I just copied them, so you now have a copy of the notes. And I annotated some sections that it seemed like you really had trouble with. But yeah, I mean, thank you for doing that. Sorry it involved getting in the lake.
I'm sorry, they were already destroyed.
That is okay. I mean, you were kind of just roped into this by a boring lecture. So
My mother always says that you need to help people when they need help.
my mom says something similar too. So yeah, well, here you go. Happy to be a study buddy. And it's really good that we're starting off the spring semester right.
With trips into the lake and destroyed decorations, yes. It's clearly trying to be funny, but delivery's all wrong.
Actually, make a performance check to see how wrong.
6.
Like, right.
It is a joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, academically, we're starting off strong. This, less strong. But yeah, sarcasm. Well, I guess I will see you around then. I'm gonna go get dinner.
Yes, we will see you in class.
All right. See you then.
Oh, Edgar, do you need to eat?
Oh, Sarah's sound is.
She muted her mic again.
Oh, Sarah, you muted yourself.
Whoops, sorry, my notifications are going wild again. Trying to turn them off. Yes, Edgar would really much. I'd like to eat because based off the volume that I am, I need a lot of food to keep this going.
Gotta
So
keep
I
this
will
games.
join.
All right. Well, you guys are free to walk with Jack. And you head back into the cafeteria. That same student is just like she seems to have perked up a little bit, mainly because you see that some students are coming in with like bruises on their face and some broken trays, and she's just like, yeah, these were not meant to be sleds, but what can I say? People are
I
gonna be
too
dumb.
did that at one point. I understand.
So she takes your cards, swipes them through. You catch her name tag. This is Emmeline. Your nice newly discovered doppelganger classmate. And Edgar, you are able to pile up a tray full of food. Jack has a much more moderate portion. Is there anything you want to talk with him about while you're at dinner, or anything else you want to do while you're hanging out in the cafeteria?
So what was the class that he took all those notes on?
Principles of management.
All the accounting.
All right, you go first.
No, I just said it was all the accounting, basically.
Interesting. Okay. I would like to, in as least of a non-threatening manner as possible, sit down with Jack because Edgar is a bit big, and say, because I look a certain way, people have never thought that I would be able to think a certain way, but I really love math and accounting. Can you tell me more about this, like, principles of management class? Is there anybody that you've worked with closely at the university? Like, have you gotten like special mentorship or anything like that?
Well, no, I haven't. I actually didn't realize I was gonna like this so much, but like I could see majoring in this now. But I don't know, just it clicks and it makes sense. But I mean, if you're really interested, you know, Dr. Smith is really, really awesome. And I mean, not to stereotype, but vampires, it's like counting is ingrained in them practically.
Just did not.
I just did. Vampires like to count. That is in the lore.
Okay.
So
Count.
no, literally in original vampire lore, vampires are obsessed with counting like gold and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been taken under Professor Smith's wing.
Well, I haven't yet. I mean, I've been a little bit intimidated, and I'm like, what if I'm actually so like bad at it or awful that she's like, you don't deserve to be on this earth anymore, and then I'm dinner. But I know that's rude, and I shouldn't be thinking like that because obviously she's here for a reason, and you don't hear about students just being eaten all the time in campus, but. I mean, she is a little intimidating.
Who is dinner now? And this is when Verochka finally arrives at the table and sits down. And she doesn't actually need to eat. She just likes trying new things. So her tray's just got little bits and pieces of all these different foods that aren't intended for human students.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a nice like little blood custard and various. I mean, grubs are. People eat grubs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, probably wasn't the target audience. And Jack just kind of looks at your tray. I was like, no one is dinner. I was just saying I didn't want to become vampire fair. But again, that's just me. And things I need to work through. So yeah. So I'd say you should.
Did you ever think that you could be vampire fair? Like, here?
I mean, vampires do eat living things, and historically, people have been part of that. It's also how they make more vampires. I suppose it wouldn't be bad to be a vampire.
Sorry, I cut you off. You were about to say something?
Oh no, I was just wandering into my thoughts. So, go ahead.
Wander away if you need to. We were just, I just feel like in the orcish community, we don't have enough practical fields. We all go into things like welding or breaking boulders or something like that. And so I thought accounting would be really smart. And I just wanted to get a little bit more of a background on your experience with it and your notes, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I can make you another set of notes. I think probably we have about equal levels of experience at this point, but maybe I'm just a better note taker. Like everyone has different learning styles.
When your hands are this big, it gets a little difficult,
I could see that, yeah.
Typing pen to paper.
Yeah, no, I yeah, that makes sense. So again, happy to be a study buddy, help you out with this. I mean, welding is a fantastic skill, but it's good to also, have your, people who are more on the business side to make this really efficient. So, like, it'd be awesome. Yeah.
And just actually, I probably asked you all the questions that I need to ask. Now that my friend and colleague is here and simultaneously maybe freaking you out, do you have any questions that you want to ask your dear friend Jack?
Oh, we are sorry. We do not wish to freak anybody out.
No, it's okay. This is fine. I mean, you guys.
Blinks and the eyes are slightly out of sync.
I mean, unless you're planning to eat me, like we're cool. You guys seem nice.
Oh, no. I do not think I would like eating a person.
See, we don't have an issue then.
Yes, we do not.
Just don't ever expect them to offer you a scarf because they don't understand cold, but that's it.
That's fair. I have my own very nice scarf. So that's also okay. Yeah, so more Jack is just happy to make general chit chat. Unless you have other specific questions for him.
No, I think probably everyone's just happy to bullshit for a minute unless Edgar has anything.
You gonna say
I
Edgar?
think I'm all good. It was nice to share a meal with somebody.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit up the library for a bit. But I will see you guys around. And I think before we get into our last little bit for the night, this is a good spot to take a break. And we will be back in just like a few minutes. welcome back. So we are going to play for about another 45 minutes tonight, and then we'll pick up for next week. So as you guys wrap up dinner, you have the choice of going to the library or the dorms, or those are probably the two main places that you'd be on a Wednesday night, I would think.
Well, I don't need to sleep, so I imagine I'm probably going to go to the library to, if nothing else, find a book.
Okay. What about you, Edgar?
I feel like Edgar needs to sleep,
Yeah,
but
Edgar had one day being a fish.
especially after being turned into a fish for the day. But I can rally if need be.
No, you guys are able to split up. So, Edgar, you head off to the name of the dorms that I, again, did write down.
Yeah, you had a few of them. I don't think we actually picked who was where.
I had them in order.
Yeah, they're in the letter.
Yeah, so you guys are in Midwood Hall, being generally medium-sized creatures. It goes in small, medium, and large. So you head back. Both of your dorms are on the 4th floor. And because this is such a prestigious, nice area, you do have your own rooms. They're all singles, so you don't have to share. So you are able to, get cozy for the night. And is there anything in particular you want to do in your room before you go to sleep?
Probably just like tucking myself and trying desperately not to think about fish. I might not even put a glass of water next to my bedside table. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Veroshka has no idea she's traumatized you this much.
To be fair, Edgar was down for it. Edgar just probably didn't realize, what the full experience is going to be like.
Yeah, like that's just something to process. Like I was a fish. I swam.
Yeah, needs a minute to himself to go through that.
Yep. I had an eye in my mouth. That could be.
And I almost chomped out of spite. So,
My best friend knocked her eye out and put it in my mouth.
Yeah. As you do. Yeah, so it takes a little while, but eventually you are able to go to sleep and generally not think about fish. All right, and what are you doing in the library?
I'm just trying to find something to entertain myself with for the evening back in the dorms since, being undead, I literally do not need to sleep.
Mm-hmm. What kind of a book are you looking for?
I kind of imagine she mostly looks for, adventure-y kind of stuff.
Okay. So, you're able to do a nice keyword search in the library database. Get a list of adventure books. Thankfully, they all seem to be contained in just a couple of stacks. So you head over that way, and Severin, the lizard folk person from the event club, is also perusing that section.
Oh, hello.
Good evening.
I did not know anyone else was here.
Yeah, I'm more of a night person myself, but
yes, we see.
yes. So yeah, I was just looking for, my next big read before, midterms and whatnot kick in. So what about you?
Oh, yeah, I was just looking for something to read tonight.
Excellent. So Have you read this book? It's like a dramatization of someone's adventures through the frozen tundra and coming upon a clan of Yetis.
Oh, I do not think I have read that one.
Highly recommend. It's very interesting, and you'll learn so much about Yetis. That part is actually very scientific.
Oh, I do not know very much about Yetis at all.
Yeah. Surprisingly very sophisticated and matriarchal society. Like, I had no idea. But, yeah. And it's like a quick read. You'll finish it and, well, probably a night, maybe 2 nights.
I'm still learning to read faster. I read very well, but not as fast as like my mother does.
There's something to be said for having to like savor each word. So I wouldn't beat yourself up about it. Like some people just speed read and then they're like, I don't know, I didn't retain this.
Yes, there are lots of things that we do not know, but once we have read them, we usually remember them very well.
So I don't know. We're supposed to declare majors at the end of this semester. Have you thought about what you want to focus on and study?
I am not sure, really. I need to pick something, but I don't really know what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Like, there's just so many good things, and it's like we have to pick, and this determines our entire life, and this is like the path we're in forever. No pressure, we're only 18, 19. We have to make these decisions.
I think sometimes I can remember one of the people I was before was having to think about this kind of thing and wanted veterinarian, maybe? But I do not think that is what I am going to do.
So you just have a bunch of like random memories in your head?
Sometimes.
Just from the bit, like, sorry if this is totally personal, but is it just like the people who make up your head, or is it like your big toe has its own memories?
I do not know. It is hard to tell where they come from sometimes.
This is fascinating. Well, I'm gonna go. And apparently Severin's even more like awkward than you are and just like walks away.
Oh. It was nice to see you.
You too.
I have another friend. I will have to think of a book to show them.
So you have the book. Are you spending more time in the library, or are you heading back to the dorm as well?
Probably just start taking a lazy walk back to the dorm because I said don't sleep, no rush.
Yeah. So at this point, campus is really quiet. Of course, some people are still out playing in the snow. You hear, like, way off in the distance, a couple of people who sound like mildly intoxicated, chanting, go Hellfires, which is your guys' mascot. But otherwise, it's a nice, quiet, peaceful night. You make it back into the dorm. It's more lively here as people are, in warm, cozy for the night, but, there are no limits here. You can stay up however late you want. And some people have not realized that eventually that will bite you. Eventually you'll be 30. But you also head up to your dorm on the 4th floor. Some people are hanging out in the hallway. Others have very clearly written, like, on their diary erase boards, like, be quiet after, be quiet in quiet hours, 10 p.m., and are not pleased with the socializing.
Oh, the narcs.
Yes. And like the floor RA. It's like, guys, you need to be quiet, please. So, do you interact with anyone, or you head into?
I mean, I might stop if I see somebody that I've had a friendly interaction with already, but I think for the most part, like, I'm still kind of figuring out social stuff, so like the big gatherings and parties are a little much.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of like wave and say hi to a couple people, and they sort of acknowledge you, but knowing that you haven't bonded with anyone like you have Edgar.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
Edgar's my best friend.
you've adopted Edgar. Um,
I turned him into a fish. It's a special bond.
Edgar didn't eat your
Super
eye.
unique.
Yeah, it would have been really awkward if I had to go find a new eye.
Yeah. Casual grave digging. Uh, but as you get back into your dorm, and are able to just curl up and start reading your book.
Mhm.
So, the night is generally going quite peacefully. Things start to die down as you approach like 11 o'clock, midnight. When all of a sudden you start hearing something that is a mixture between laughter and a crow caw. And you hear two girls go shrieking down the hallway.
Eh?
And Edgar, this will wake you up as like high-pitched, shrill shrieking runs by your door.
Hmm. Well, I have no reason to be suspicious of anything, so I'm just gonna open the door and stick my head out and see what's going on.
At this point, have you told me about the Yeti situation or not?
I don't think I mentioned the book yet, since we're going back to the dorm to sleep.
Yeah, I was figuring. Okay, all right. So I've been asleep. I don't know about this. If when I hear the shrieking of the ladies, I'm going to run out to try to figure out how I can best protect them. Oh God, damn it!
Uh-oh.
Welcome, giant orc. Here I am. Let me see what I can do.
So as you both like pop your head out of the doors, Edgar, you are closer to the girls who you can kind of see ducking into the communal bathroom. But down the hall, you just see a murder of like 12 crows flying around. And as people open their doors, the crows start flying in there and they're laughing, they're talking, and these are awakened crows.
Hello?
Did you say there are crows or crowns?
Crows.
Crows laughing and flying and joking.
Yep. They are like getting caught in people's hair. They're swiping towards like really anything shiny. And it's
This
now
seems very rude.
it's just pandemonium.
I'm gonna go in and use my capability of beast speaking, if that's okay. I think that's what. Yes, beast speak to try to communicate with crows, if that's possible.
I mean, you start talking to them in Crow, and then they respond back in English, like, we can talk to you like this. As like one dives into your room and starts like flying around and like digging through stuff on your desk to find shiny stuff and like pulls out a pen.
We can't talk to you like this.
Oh no, they're
Is
saying
what
like
they're
we can speak to you in English. They say in English.
And while this is happening in Verachka's room, she's just trying to offer the crow that flew in like the leftover grubs from her dinner.
The crow will take them. And will just like perch on your hand and eat them. So Edgar, what are you saying to the crow?
me just I'm just trying to ask how I can communicate best with her. Like, what am I supposed to do? What do you need me? What do you need from me? What do you need from anybody?
Oh, we were told to fly in here and get all the shiny stuff, and it will be fun. So we're having fun.
You're having fun. You're enjoying your time here.
Yes.
Okay. Have you? Is there any reason you're in? Did anybody let you in here? Is like how did this happen?
Yeah. Some people, some non-birds, approached us and made us a deal, and so we agreed to fly in here and get all the shiny
Wow.
stuff, and in return, they would give us the mice. I assume
What
fuzzy mice.
deal were you given?
Shinies for mice.
Okay. That's what? I, sorry, I asked what deal and then I didn't hear what you said afterwards.
Oh, give them shiny things that they got from the dorm, and then these people will give them the lab rats to eat.
Oh, so if I give you shiny things, will you give me more information?
Depends on the shiny things.
What kind of shiny things do you like?
Like the ones that make noise when they sway in the wind. Um, or
A
like
wind chime?
more like a bell. Um, it's like a upside down acorn. And there's a clacker in it, and you can just shake it around. So much fun.
Okay.
Or like things that catch the sun, and then it's just like so many lights. Those are nice.
Okay. I will make these for you. I'll make something. Oh, I have been paused by someone that might have a better idea. Before I go off and make all these things.
Did you interject an idea on chat?
No.
Oh.
I'm just keeping an eye on things.
I gotcha.
Okay. I will then. Can I offer you some things that it's like a few coins that I might have right now in conjunction of you telling me some stuff you've seen and some just anything that you can share with me.
Sure. Show me the coins.
Do I have coins? Can I do that?
Yes, unlike most modern millennials / Gen Zers, you do have like spare change on you.
Take my spare change, Crow.
It'll pick up like a couple of quarters, and like stick it under its feet. Yeah. So, non-birds, people. I don't know. I guess they said this would be fun, and it has been fun, and we're getting all the shiny things, and then we are going to feast so well in the winter.
You're gonna get gold shiny pieces, and then you'll be solo in the winter.
We will be so well fed in the winter.
So well fed in the winter. Okay. So you were told you were going to be taken care of.
Yes.
Interesting, but I got nothing, colleagues. If you can help me out.
Right. So as Edgar is chatting with this one particular crow, what are you doing, Varashka?
Varashka is probably being way less helpful and just like feeding grubs to the crow and like so what is your name? Because she has no frame of reference for crows in the dorm is weird.
I suppose you would.
This is our new friend.
Oh my god, what would a crow name be?
She's just hanging out with this crow now.
Um, my name's Glitter.
It is very nice to meet you. I am Varachka.
Good to meet you. I don't chat with many non-birds.
Oh, why is that? Feed more grubs.
I don't know, they're not that interesting. Like, they just walk by and yeah.
I think people are often just kind of doing their own thing, you know?
No, I don't. Eat more grubs.
What do you do?
You know, just your usual things like get food, find a cozy place to sleep, fly around, cause some mischief, get shiny things.
Oh. Yes, sometimes some shiny things are very nice. And then I think she's gonna go to her scrapbooking drawer and like pull that open and pull out like some silvery tape. Like these?
Yes. And Glitter will just take like a little end of the tape and start pulling it apart until she's getting a bigger and bigger rope or strand of tape.
Oh, that might be a bit hard for you to handle. Here, let me show you. And then like rip it on the dispenser for her.
It does it like curls around and like she gets caught in the tape.
Oh no.
But she's so happy. Like her wings are free. Oh my gosh.
Let me help you. I have an idea. And like get the tape like away from Glitter's beak and then like put it around loosely on one of the legs.
This is the best. You are a good non-bird.
Well, thank you. You are a very good bird.
Thank you.
Are you still hungry?
No, I think I'm okay right now. And there's mice waiting for us.
Oh, where are you getting the mice?
From the non-birds who sent us in here.
Oh, they put you in here as like a prank.
I mean, we flew in on our own accord.
Oh, they told you to come here as a prank then.
I guess.
Oh, okay. I have heard about pranks since college. That is... I've already seen a few this week.
As you both are having your conversations with your birds,
Mm-hmm.
gusts of wind start coming back down the hallway as the tiny goblin that is, well, not tiny, the smaller goblin that is your RA is like shooing the birds out. And they are objecting. These are some very foul-mouthed crows, actually. But very creative. Like, you've never heard crows swear. So this is new.
That is a new phrase.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
And so all the birds, except for the two that are in your room and some others that do eventually fly behind that were safely in other rooms, are pushed out. Back out the fire exit. And your RA just like slams the door and is like, okay, order is restored. Please return to your rooms and be quiet. I have a report to file. So you have one crow that has a couple of quarters and a pen hanging out on your desk, just like, oh, this happened. And Glitter's just really admiring the band of tape on her leg.
Yeah, just this like silvery, glittery, washi tape kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. So what do you do when it is so cold outside?
You find warm spots to hang out in, and you sit as a group, and you just, huddle.
Oh,
Or flock. I don't know, yeah.
I see. Would you like to be friends, Glitter?
What is a friend?
I'm kind of learning what that is, actually. My mother says it is, people that you like being around, and you can help, and they help you, and all that sort of thing.
Flock mate.
I guess?
Yes, I will accept this.
Verashka's just so happy. She's made friends with a bird.
Do I get to stay here?
If you would like, I could open the window for you.
I mean, it's warmer in here.
Yeah, yes, the people who have to breathe keep it very warm in here.
Mm. Yes, I will fly back and forth because I do like my flock too. And you don't sit in trees well, I think.
Not usually. I climbed a tree once and I went a little too high and fell out and my arm popped off and I had to go get it. It was an ordeal.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Edgar, what are you doing with the crow that is now in your room?
All right, can I talk to him
Oh
in
yeah,
my beast mode?
yeah. So you guys switch back
Yeah.
over to crow.
I feel like we've done a lot with the crows, though. I feel like we have. I don't know. I also feel like I was sleeping on things while people were out and about and trying to figure out crime. So I'm gonna ask my crow if there is anything that he saw that was suspicious in the time period of my colleagues being, like while they were talking to other people.
Hmm. Your crow's just kind of flipping this quarter over and over again, enjoying the clacking noise it makes on the desk. As well, there was a werewolf heading into the forest, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad, but it's not a full moon, so I'm sure it's fine. And then a bunch of the non-birds came and talked to us, and they made this deal, which normally they don't talk to us. So that was interesting, but no, nothing weird.
That sounds completely weird that a bunch of birds that don't normally talk have talked to you. Why might that happen?
I guess they figured out we could speak non-bird, and they made us a deal, and we talked about it, and we thought it was a good deal. So we agreed, and now here we are. Well, I guess here I am,
What kind of birds were they?
like you, like not birds.
Like beast talkers? Like people that could communicate with you?
Yeah, essentially what you're getting is they were humanoid creatures, and just anything that isn't another, like, slightly animal creature, they refer to as non-birds.
All right. All right. So, if you could help us with anything, what could I offer you? If you could provide any sorts of insight on what we're investigating, if you could provide us, like who we have about 12 different tracks we're going down. If there's anything that you can have insight wise to narrow that tract, what could I give you as a recompense?
If you find me those shiny acorns, I would like to decorate my tree with them. And there's a very pretty girl that I would like to show that my nest is very nice. And I think the shiny acorns would be very nice. And in return, I will do what you want. I will follow people, or I will get you mice, or whatever you need.
Okay. And these shiny acorns, where are they to be found?
Oh, he's asking for bells.
Okay, just kidding. I'll do what I can for you.
Okay. What do you need?
I will collect on that when we reconvene.
Okay. I will fly to your window, and if you have the goods, I will have the goods.
All right.
So if you are done talking to your crow, you could open the window and let it fly out. There are not screens on these windows because that would be way too much.
I could open the what on the windows?
Oh, you can open the window. There's no screen, so the crow can fly out.
Oh, yes. I will. So he can go. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Windows are open. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your unnamed crow and Glitter fly off into the evening. One of you has made a friend. The other has made a colleague, has a insider. And thankfully, the rest of the night is uneventful, besides this one strange break to kick off the semester. And I actually think that is a good place to end for the evening.
Okay.
Since we will hopefully have some additional people join us for the next leg of this. So we will begin anew. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, sticking with us. Thank you to Sarah for joining us. You know, at least you're in the same time zone and we're not keeping you up like East Coast time.
Yeah, that would not be great.
No. So we will be back with more Lo-Fi Bards to chill and relax to, or study and relax to, next Sunday at 7 o'clock PST. In the meantime, we have some other projects in the work. This Friday, we will be running a game of Dread, which is a Jenga-based system if you're not familiar with it. It'll be a little spooky. So feel free to log into that, but our schedule will be updated. And then, yeah, just keep an eye on our socials for anything else that's going on. So thank you very much and have a great evening. Bye.
We out.